Oh, okay. I think we should be good now. Hold on. We gotta
do the intro.
We gotta do the thing here. Good evening, Internet. The second time is
Seems
the
like we did
the
this
charm
already.
Deja fucking vu.
I'm out. This is unprofessional.
I told you, like I said earlier, but you guys didn't hear me, that we got this set up in about 20 minutes, which is a record. I'm surprised that it actually even somewhat functioned. We have all of the duct tape today.
This isn't a duct tape production. This is a gaff tape production. It's less sturdy.
It's pink gaff tape too.
Oh, I got the blue stuff.
Oh, that's painter's tape.
That's whatever.
But we have the logo up on the thing tonight. Hold on, let me start that over. Good evening, Internet. It's a Friday night, so it's a night with your two favorite Richards, or one favorite Richard. And Scott tonight is played by Nate and Jerry.
And it takes two of us to equal the power and might of Scott, apparently. He'll appreciate that I said that.
He's at a concert tonight.
I at least have the hair for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Together we have the beard.
We got the triple beard.
Uh-oh. Reaching real far back for that one.
Yeah, we said we would never talk about that ever again.
Wayne's not here, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to run our intro.
All right.
Tape your gap, Chrome Dome says. All right, intro here. Okay. Unfortunately, we were just in the middle of eating, so there might be consumption of Jesus chicken while we do the broadcast tonight.
Shout out to the guy at the drive-thru.
Oh yeah, that was funny. So
Jerry told me.
So I was sitting at the drive-thru and I had my leftist tears tumbler in the middle of my thing, the console or whatever. And the guy's like, "Oh, I love your mug," and I'm like, "Yeah, I had to replace my Crowder one that broke." That's the first time. Oh shit! I need to mute my phone. That's the first time I've ever
Did
been.
your phone just fart?
It's an email.
Oh.
Now it's gonna fart. Hold on.
Well, it sounded. It sounded.
It sounded like a toy whose batteries were dying.
And I could turn mine up. It'll be humorous if my phone goes off.
That's a huge bitch. Jesus Christ. That's what his phone says. Yeah, we really don't have a whole lot of topics to talk about tonight. So this might go off the rails really fast. If you guys come up with some sort of fun talking points. What?
Oh,
He was gonna play it.
yeah, I can play it.
Do it. I have it as a sounder on my.
That's a huge bitch.
What was that from originally?
That was it Deuce Bigelow?
Oh, okay. That was Dave Chappelle, right?
No, it wasn't Dave. It was one of the guys that's on Chappelle's show.
Oh,
though.
okay.
I wish I could remember the guy's name. He's hilarious.
Oh God, JR just said it's Morbin time.
Uh-oh.
I still haven't seen Morbius.
I haven't either.
Did you see it, Jerry?
No.
Okay, never mind then. Let's move on.
There's not a whole lot of good things to see this year.
Chrome Dome said got pink gap tape. It didn't say gap tape. He said gap tape.
Gap, gay and proud. It's
Tape.
It's gay tape.
He said tape that gap.
It's to protect your butt virginity.
I think one of the best movies that came out this year would have to be Violent Night.
Oh yeah, so good. So good. Jerry still hasn't seen it.
You haven't seen it yet? Holy
He was
shit.
gonna go see it, and then they ended up missing it because they were at the bar too long.
Well, that makes sense.
He was with Chuck and Michelle.
So if anybody hasn't seen it yet, it is available for rent or purchase on at least Amazon or maybe other platforms as well.
The first platform that actually had it available was Redbox.
Huh.
Like to
Interesting.
stream.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was weird. And then Amazon halfway through the day got it available. I was watching the page because I was like, I want to buy it. And I was wondering if Redbox had like a distribution deal with them, but I guess they didn't.
It was just how
it was.
the
They kind of threw it out like real quick for release because normally it like is less than a month
Yeah.
for this one.
Well, I looked at like right before I went to go see it. I wanted to see if I could download.
Yeah, actually, I checked the.
I wanted to procure it that way before I went to go see it in the theater because I didn't necessarily want to drop $25.
I checked
see
the
it.
various sites,
But then I went and saw it, and we paid like what $22 for the two of us to go see it. And then the very next day, it came out on streaming.
it was like, I think when I went and saw it, I paid probably $40 because I covered a bunch of people's tickets. I still haven't gotten money back from some of them. But one of them regularly bought me lunch, so I'm just going to call that a wash.
Also,
Brian.
I don't.
He's not going to watch this.
So there's also Weird, the Al Yankovic story. That movie was really good too.
It wasn't released in theaters, so it's not like an Oscar contender.
I think it was though. It was wasn't it released on both at the same time?
I don't. think
No,
so.
that was only Roku channel, and it was never going to get a theatrical
Yeah, it
release.
was always free.
Huh. Yep. Did you see the Weird Al tweet where somebody's like, "I can't watch your movie in Australia," and he's like, "There's a torrent of places where you can find this movie." It's like it's essentially telling people to just download it or wait until it comes out.
Yeah.
The
I think the only other like the actual like big release that was actually like good was like Top Gun.
Oh,
I haven't
'Cause
seen
I
that.
hadn't seen that, but I've heard a whole bunch of good things. It was in theaters for like 3 months.
I watched the first one.
I haven't seen it.
I watched the first one. The first one's really good, and I watched the second one. The second one, I can honestly say I've hardly ever said this about a prequel before, a sequel before. The second movie's probably slightly better than the first movie.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
I think this might be one of the few instances where an actual sequel film is going to win more awards than the original, other than like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars.
I think Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars. Star Wars. The sequels were better than the original. Like Return of the Jedi was so much better than New Hope. But like those were planned trilogies. This was an unplanned sequel that came out decades later.
The other thing is they had it
like 30 years.
They had it done, and I think they had an original release date of like 2020 or 2021
because of COVID.
But they said that this movie needed to be experienced in the movie theater, so they postponed it by like 2 years because it was a movie that was designed to be seen with the sound system or in like an IMAX setting.
Yeah.
There's a thing that Tom Cruise recorded that plays before the movie where he's thanking everybody for coming in and like supporting the movie industry. And yeah, you don't really see that all that often from anybody. You just kind of get like, hey, here's, the 38th Marvel movie. Come see it, you idiots.
They're soulless at this point for Marvel. Marvel was good at the beginning when it was just like Favreau doing Iron Man,
like at this
just doing
point,
what he wanted.
Yeah, at this point, it honestly seems like they already have things like pre-made, and then they just bring someone on for like
a cookie
name
cutter.
recognition. Like
Yeah.
like I don't believe that Sam Raimi did the majority of Multiverse of Madness. There's probably a couple scenes that he did that's got like his touch with like Zombie Strange and whatever.
A lot of stuff that Raimi does isn't necessarily directing because he has his specific editors that he uses, and a lot of his touch comes through the editing.
Yeah.
There's Ape was said blasphemy, you heathens. I think talking about Top Gun. And then Bob asked if we were talking about Top Gun. Yep.
Yeah, we're talking about Top Gun.
Yep.
Or Bottom Pistol, I guess.
So apparently the usual suspects aren't over here watching us because there's another live stream going on. It's like
fuck that guy.
It's like Brother Yeetus or something. Whatever his name
never mind.
is.
I take it back. I don't even know who that is.
These are not the sequels you're looking for, Abe says. you got to do the hand wave.
Of course, I know him. He's me.
What other movies came out this year that were
Avatar?
I'm
surprised you didn't make a gag.
I'm not even gonna. That doesn't. Yeah.
Isn't it like the same thing as the first one, but with just more blue people and like extra water?
Yeah, I talked to somebody about that. I talked to my Lyft driver the other day about that.
Like don't they bring back like the
There's-
same bad guy? Like
there's
they,
like
they
a-
brought back that the crew cut
Yeah,
guy who
they
was the
brought him
bad guy.
back.
They stuck him in like an
They-
avatar body
they
and they
copied
brought
his
him back.
brain and put
Yeah.
him
Oh,
into
yeah,
an
yeah,
avatar
the-
body.
And I guess he's still an asshole.
the bad guy that was bad for like no reason. So they like downloaded before he went to the planet. They downloaded his consciousness, and then they uploaded it to one of the Na'vi avatar bodies.
Yeah.
And he came back, and he's still a dick.
Everything about the Avatar series is just stupid. I hated the first one.
And
It
from
was
what
so
I heard,
annoying.
like they don't even mention that their stupid like MacGuffin unobtainium
Oh,
garbage
yeah.
from
Yeah.
the first one. It was like it was such like a point
Mhm.
of contention. The first one, like we have to strip mine the thing for this because it's just the rarest material. We need it for stuff. But like the fact that they called it unobtainium
It's so
Yeah.
dumb.
is like the other thing. And my stupid joke for it was like you never find unobtainium because as soon as you get it, it becomes obtainium, which is the most common element in the universe.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
first movie was so bad. One of our friends was assaulted.
Oh yeah.
What?
No, so this is great. I was sitting
I
there.
haven't
was actually-
heard this
I was
one.
actually sitting. I was actually
He
sitting
was-
right next to him.
He was next to me.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you were in between him and the
Okay,
guy.
so we were sitting there, and okay, our friend was sitting there, and then the robot knife fight scene came up.
Like he
Okay.
pulls the knife out or whatever,
And our
and
friend just started laughing.
It's so ridiculous. I was laughing too, but he was loudly laughing.
He was obnoxiously.
We
laughing.
were also really drunk.
Yeah, he was extremely drunk.
That's
And then
probably
this
the
guy-
only way to get through the movie.
This guy told him to shut up. He's like, "Shut the fuck up." And I think he called him a faggot or something.
No.
And then he's like, "No, you shut the fuck up." And the guy came over, punched him in the face, and then left. Apparently, he was there on a first date with this girl that he was sitting there with, and he just left the theater after assaulting our friend.
He got a free movie ticket out of it, and I think he filed a police report. Hopefully, something came of that. But
Oh, Bob says "Sweet Trooper" poster in the back.
oh yeah. Jerry got that for me for Christmas.
Yeah.
a couple years ago, and it's
Oh,
kind of just been living down here.
Bob also brought up last night. I did a live stream with another streamer, Chaos. He's got
we watched a little bit of that.
like 300 followers, and apparently Bob says we won the internet because it was just like absolutely hilarious. Like I was talking to Jerry about it on the way here. Like I was just at one point just started trolling people instead of playing the game correctly.
Oh god,
That's the
I
best
just
way to
can't get
do
the
it.
card through. What the hell?
No, you just gotta like follow people. Like, hey, come here. I want to tell you something.
No, it was funny. I was following one of the guys.
Just vent for no reason. That's all you gotta do.
I was following this one guy Hemi around because he was in the voice chat. There's like 4 of us in the voice chat, and then there was a 10-person game, so the other randos couldn't hear us talking.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm just gonna follow Hemi around to fuck with him. So I follow this guy around, and so we follow around. We get a meeting, and then I follow him around again. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, shit, fuck, and because he killed me because he was the imposter. It was just like I need to find that and clip it. It was just way too perfect and just way too
Shit.
funny. Fuck. You know, it's funny because every time when I was playing, because I over exaggerate my like,
Especially when you're drunk.
yeah, like things like that. And so that I'll just say something like, let's say it was Chaos. I'm like, fuck you, Chaos, and then they'll be like, I know who the imposter is.
I mean, I still think the best like overreaction you've had was playing Phasmophobia
Oh,
when
God.
Nate was in VR and you were like 4 feet away from
On a
like the
laptop.
laptop screen,
Yeah, I was
and you
about-
saw the ghost like crawling on the ground,
no.
and you just
No,
ah!
it just appears.
No, it's funny because
It
Nate.
wasn't crawling.
No,
just
it
kinda-
was funny because Nate was there, and Nate's like, Ike, it's behind you. I'm like, shit, and I turn around. Ah!
And then we were in this garage, and he screamed so loud. Trudy was all the way upstairs in our
yeah,
bedroom,
yeah, two
two
floors.
up on the 3rd floor, and she comes down and says, "The cops better not be called on you."
I think she wanted to kick me out.
But I just think it's funny that like you were in VR, so you were actually in the game.
Yeah, but I was watching.
and you were like sitting far back from a small laptop
I
screen,
was
and you
in
still
VR.
screamed like 3 times.
I was in VR watching a screen of a camera that was watching Ike. And he walks out a door, and Spark walks towards the camera, and then I just see it appear in the door behind him. I'm like, Ike, it's right behind you.
Okay, SCE, about the game last night. The main reason that I was the first to die is because I just kept trolling people. So I think there was a point where I told Jerry this earlier. There was a point where when it got to the meeting, I would be the first one to get into the chat, and I just say a random color did it. And then they're like, "There's what is it?" I was like pink or red.
Indigo.
I was like pink or red or whatever. They're like, "Red just keeps pointing names left, saying names left and right. He's probably the thing." I'm like, "No, I'm not. Good luck winning." And then I wouldn't be. And I'd be like, "Told you."
Yeah, you say you can't prove anything.
I would say like obscure colors, like chartreuse did it. Indigo,
Heliotrope. I like
Is
saying
that
that
a
because
color?
it's not a real
color.
color. I just like saying it. It was from a Pixar short, and so the guy's naming colors. He's like blank, 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 heliotrope. Hey Corey, thanks for
Not a
stopping
color.
by. We are doing great.
Well, what were we going to talk about initially? Like we actually had a topic that we were going to.
Now that we're 20 minutes in.
yeah,
His
were gonna-
jury duty.
Yeah, so I got a letter because I had to have my mail forwarded to Nate's address. I got a letter that said it was from the
Washington County Courthouse.
Washington County Fifth Circus Court.
No, it's
circus.
just-
It was it says Circus
Oh,
Court
does
on
it?
it. You mean it's not the circus? It's circuit.
Okay.
It's the Washington County Circus Court. AJLM. And I'm like, he's like, do you want me to open it when I get it? I'm like, I really don't know what that could be. Holy shit.
And then I called him and I got it. I said, "Hey, what are you doing on the 25th of January? You have any plans?" He goes, "Oh, no." He's still waking up. "I don't know. Let me check." "No, I don't think I have anything." "Oh, you do because you have jury duty."
So we're trying to come up with ways to like just troll the people like at the courthouse. So either I'm going to bring a copy of Mein Kampf,
Don't do that.
or I'm going to bring a copy of the Quran
Do that one
to
do that
read.
one.
But I also want to make a T-shirt that's Jerry came up with this idea. It's going to say it's thing instead of thing 1 or thing 2. It's going to say juror. It's going to say juror. And it's going to have my jury number. I think it's like 592 or something like that.
Well, my dad
you're right.
was going to show up for like a jury duty thing sometime a little bit earlier this month, but
Thank you.
it got canceled. But
Because of weather.
I don't know about the
Okay.
weather.
He just
but
didn't get called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, they sent another letter saying that they wouldn't need him, but that didn't get taken downstairs in time for him to get that. So he ended up paying $15 for parking. But let's not tell him that, because he's not going to watch this. He doesn't know how YouTube works.
Such a boomer.
But I was really close to suggesting that he, because he airbrushes shirts
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah, they're really good. I have one upstairs.
I was very close to telling him that he should airbrush a shirt that says "Ask me about jury nullification" to wear in.
Yeah,
That'd get you sent home.
I had jury duty not too long ago, and while I was waiting in line, I texted my dad. I said, "I have an idea for a business. Hear me out here. We open up a conservative bookstore across the street from the courthouse, and then we put a sign up in the window that says, 'Buy a conservative book here. We guarantee you will not get jury duty, or we will refund you the price of the book.'" Like it's like a return window.
Do they get to keep the book, or do they have to return it?
Oh, I'd let them keep it, but like we'd probably lose some money that way. But that's part of the joke, because if you show up with a conservative book in Washington County, especially if you're going to go to where Jerry does jury duty, he's in
Multnomah. Yeah.
Courthouse.
If you were in Multnomah County and you showed up with a obviously conservative book like a Bill O'Reilly or something, Rush Limbaugh book, like they would probably kick you out.
Wasn't
I
it?
don't want to get jumped on the street either.
Yeah.
So.
Wasn't it Michael Savage?
Michael Savage
Yeah,
said
Michael
that. He
Savage
says
from
he
the Savage
guarantees
Nation.
if you read his book, The Savage Nation or Political Zoo. He also has 3 that I know of. He has Savage Nation.
Political Zoo came out in like 2007.
Was it Political Zoo that
yeah.
he did?
Yeah, he
do
did
that?
Political Zoo.
And
I have
then
a
he
copy.
also did Liberalism as a Mental Disorder. I think was the other one that he did. But he did say that if you read his book when you were waiting to get jury duty, he promised you would not get jury duty.
Or he would refund you the
I
book
think
too,
so.
is
I don't
what he
know,
said.
but I still think it would be funny if you put that sign up in the window and just sell conservative books.
The other thing is, I might get a copy of Michael Malice's book, The Anarchist Handbook. So I think that'd be great.
it.
But I like Jerry's idea. Ask me about jury nullification. Or I could wear Nate's "Birds Aren't Real" shirt. Tell them that story.
So I got jury duty. We got up into the courtroom. I don't know what took them so long. It took us. I was there for like 3 hours before they even took us up. And we get up there, and they're doing the voir dire, which is where they ask questions, and then each of the lawyers gets to veto a juror. And one of the people asked, "Is it ever okay to lie?" And one person says, "No, it's never okay to lie." And then I was like, "Yes, it's okay to lie sometimes. There are okay lies. Santa Claus is a lie. The Easter Bunny, birds." And I said it sarcastically. The judge laughed. Everyone laughed. I just thought it was funny. And then I got moved into the jury box and immediately kicked out. They told me to leave.
That's good.
And so, like right after that, I went on to Amazon and bought a shirt that says "Birds are not real."
Yeah, so with the jury duty, I only got to that like question spot once.
Yeah.
Like I haven't actually sat on a jury, but I've had to go downtown like 3 times.
I sat on a jury once.
And the last time was probably the worst. That was like 2 years ago. Because
yeah, you told me about this.
it's for 2 days. It's always like the day that's specified and the day after.
Yeah.
You sit in, you wait to get called. And I got the day December 23rd and the following day. So for the second day, I had to go in, meaning I miss work, which would have given me holiday pay of time and a half. So for missing what would have been probably like anywhere between 4 to probably about 6 or 7 hours on average
Of time and a half.
Yeah, of time and a half. The state of Oregon gave me a check for $10. So yeah, thanks.
So people are commenting that it's very befitting that the Fallout guy is behind the beholder cutout.
That's not a beholder.
That's a cacodemon.
It's a
Yeah,
cacodemon.
You're right.
yeah.
It's a
From
cacodemon.
Doom.
Well, yeah. No, he says this. JLM says Doom beholders poop or whatever.
That's not a
It is a
beholders are not in
cacodemon.
Doom.
Yeah,
Doom,
you're right.
Beholder is from D&D.
Also, Cubing Speed ruined a really good Simpsons joke. It says too many Ikes, and I said no. I'm seeing double 4 Ikes.
There are 4 Ikes. That's
hey,
a Star
Sunflower.
Trek thing, isn't it?
No, there
Yeah.
are 2 lights.
There are 4 Ikes.
My favorite Simpsons joke is
Oh yeah, Corey Slater says beholders from D&D have eye stalks on the top of their
Yeah.
heads.
They have a whole bunch of eyes.
That is totally a cacodemon.
it is.
Yep.
What were you gonna say? You were
I was gonna say my favorite Simpsons joke is I'm trying to remember the name of the episode. It's the one where be like the boy. Everyone's like be like Bart.
That's a good episode.
And so everyone's pretending to be Bart. But the best joke in the episode is when they're in the classroom and Edna Krabappel asks them, when Marconi's testing his wireless transmission, what was the first wireless transmission that was said? Bart goes to answer, and he's interrupted by Martin. And Martin says, the 4th caller will win tickets to Supertramp. And then Bart goes to answer again, and he gets interrupted by Milhouse. And he says, I want to change my name. But what's funny about that is when Marconi actually did do his first wireless transmission, it was hacked. And somebody else transmitted something different over that demonstration. And it was actually a joke about his mom. So that joke is funny on the surface, but it gets deeper, and it's actually very like intellectual, and I love it. It's my favorite Simpsons joke.
So JLM says, I fully recommend going to all jury duty and hanging the jury. Vote against them no matter what.
Now, the reason I got selected for my first time actually fully doing jury duty was because I was sympathetic towards the cop that pulled me over when I got my DUI. They asked me a question about it, and I said I was sympathetic towards the cop. Oh no,
It'll do that. I think
I thought something fell over over there.
No, I think
camera.
the camera just shut off.
Yeah.
I knew that this was
Now
going to happen.
it's an all audio podcast.
Shit, it like actually just shut entirely
glue.
off.
Is falling apart at the seams.
I told you guys at the beginning that this was going to happen.
All right.
Oh, jeez. Where were we?
When it went black, there was just like the raunchiest sex you could imagine. So
Oh, that reminds me in our Matt and Blonde Portland Discord server that we have. I found an image that I've tweeted where I said, remember the last time a black guy crashed a Christmas parade? It was a picture of
Sinbad
Of
from
Sinbad
Jingle All the
from
Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Hold on. I'm going to pull that up really quick.
It was so funny. I remember posting that. It was so good.
Hey man, at least he had the goal of getting a Turbo Man.
Yeah. That was a reference to Darrell Brooks.
He just like kept like staring
I
at
don't
the
know
judge.
if you can see it, but there it is.
He's dressed up
Who
like the
actually got
fictional villain
He
guy.
got all of his courts, all of the things that.
All of
were
his
charges,
charges.
all of his charges.
He's in jail for what? 15 consecutive life sentences or
Yep.
something of that magnitude.
He should not have represented himself. He would have gotten a lot less on those charges.
The judge
if he
threw
did
the
not.
book at him because the guy was a dick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Can we talk about what was it that he kept asking her about? It was it's a bunch of stupid sovereign citizen bullshit.
Just another guy radicalized by Gamergate, I'm sure.
Yeah, easily. Oh yeah, he's definitely the Gamergate demographic.
He just wanted to play video games, man. He
Hold on.
just had a lapse of judgment and thought he was playing
Thought he was
GTA.
Chrome Dome says, yeah, had an inventive adventurer once figure out how to make a scatter gun that flung rock salt. Was a fun time hunting beholders.
He did that in Dungeons and Dragons. That's great.
Sunflower says, hey Ike, hey Nate, other guy I don't know.
Other guy. He's the other guy.
That's Jerry, by the way.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Somebody says, Chrome Dome says, blessed chick sandwich with pickles. We had just the chicky nugs.
We didn't get any pickles. We should have gotten pickles. Pickles are good.
So what does chat think about what book do you guys think that I should take with me to
Don't take their recommendations.
to jury duty?
Get the reasons to vote for
You
Democrats.
have that one, or you gave it to Dad.
Oh, Dad has my
one.
copy.
Yeah,
Oh,
just-
I could bring my copy of Johnny the Walrus.
Ooh, that would be good.
Sit
Sit there and read it to the group. Okay, guys, I'm turning. Tell me when you're done looking at the page. I'm going to turn the next one.
at this tone. Turn the page. It's like the. You guys want to talk about Andrew Tate?
We could talk about Andrew Tate.
I know nothing about him. Jerry knows more than
Andrew
I do.
Tate.
I barely know anything about him.
He was an influencer. I can't remember what he talked about, but
Wasn't he like a pickup artist guy?
I think that's what
Yeah,
it
I think
was.
so.
I've heard his name before, but I don't know anything about him. But he likes to flex on Twitter. But apparently he was under an investigation by what government was it? It was
Romania.
Romania, yeah.
He was under investigation from the Romanian government for human trafficking. Because he would brag about being like a producer for e-thoughts for webcam girls, and he said he the way he would talk about it is the people that he knew that was involved in it are of lesser repute. So he's probably in that same ilk. And so what had happened was Greta Thunberg, that obnoxious.
How dare you?
Yeah, that obnoxious. You play your sounder. Oh, you don't
I
have
don't
it.
have the buttons.
That obnoxious girl. She's 19 now.
She's a woman.
Yeah, she said something online, and then Andrew Tate responded to her. I have 13 cars that here's their admissions, and
He's
I'm
like, look at my sports car.
I'm gonna give me your email address, and I'll email it to you as a PDF or whatever. And then she sent a tweet back that says "small dick" at something or
small
other.
dick energy at something.
Yeah, and then he responded with, "Oh, you admitted that you have a small dick," and then he recorded like a 3-minute video where he like just ranted about her. And then the Romanian government used that video to prove that he was in Romania so they could go pick him up.
No, they proved exactly where they figured out almost exactly where he was, or at least the surrounding area, based on the pizza boxes
that was sitting in his
on the video. Yeah. And so they were able to like pinpoint him within like a couple mile radius because there's only one pizza place of that name in like Romania.
It's Jerry's Pizza is the name of it.
I mean, I just think it's funny that we have an instance of the gypsies persecuting somebody and not the other way around.
Romanian Domino's. He was Noid.
So he was.
Was that actually what that was? Was it like a?
Well, the box design almost looks like a older Domino's design. It had the blue and red on it.
Okay.
And now that's also funny. The Domino's commercial for the Noid. There was a guy that held a Domino's pizza franchise hostage because he thought Domino's was making fun of him because his last name was Noid, and the commercial was avoid the Noid. So he brought a gun with him and he held them hostage because he thought they were making fun of him. And then I think they canceled the ad campaign after that.
There was I remember talking to somebody that actually was involved in the creation of the Noid commercials. And
Barry Bruce.
It was like Barry. I think it was Barry. It was it wasn't Barry Bruce. It was McKinney, Susan McKinney's husband.
Really?
Who worked?
I thought
on
Barry
it.
Bruce was the one.
Barry Bruce is the one that created it, but
okay.
But it was McKinney that worked on one of the commercials. And apparently, I heard this from her, so it was like secondhand knowledge. But they were working on the commercial, and they were in like Portland. I think they had a warehouse or someplace they were working in the Pearl District.
Yeah,
they're like we're going to call up Domino's because we want to get some Domino's pizza over here while we're working on this commercial. Domino's didn't deliver to that location.
Oh.
So they're like, we're working on your commercial here, and you're not going to deliver us.
You can't drive 5 miles out of your way to bring us pizza.
Add that to the list of weird people that I know and stories that I've heard that I can't verify, but it actually happened.
It probably actually happened. That sounds like, well, especially at the time when they were doing that, there weren't a lot of Domino's in downtown Portland.
Yeah.
In the Pearl District specifically, because it is a business like Pearl District is business.
It was before the Pearl District was the Pearl District it is today. So there was like a bunch of breweries and other things down there, rather than
warehouses. So there weren't a lot of people.
It's before they were
delivered. It's
before they were converted into like lofts and shit to overcharge these fucking yuppies from California.
Yeah.
The documentary.
Go home, you fucking retards.
What's the documentary? That was
A Clay Dream.
Clay Dream, yeah.
Oh, that was
very good.
really
I bought
good.
it on Amazon.
Clay Dream was really good. It's
very good.
about how Will Vinton tried to sell out to be able to make the stuff he wanted to make. But then by selling out, the people he sold out to, which was Phil Knight and his son Travis Knight, they took over and then ousted him from the company. And Travis Knight is a fucking tool and a piece of shit.
That's true. Although he did direct Bumblebee, that Transformers movie. Apparently that was pretty good. I haven't seen it, but I refuse to watch it because Travis Knight directed it.
Travis Knight is also a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he also directed the Kubo and the
Did he direct Kubo?
I think he directed Kubo, yeah.
Kubo was good.
Yeah.
Like, I think Box Trolls, wasn't that directed by Henry Selick?
No, Henry Selick did
Coraline. No, you did Coraline. You're right. You did
Coraline.
Paranorman was another one that they did as well.
Yeah.
I saw Box Trolls on Netflix today.
I mean,
was
Leica
putting
does
on-
good work.
I have
So-
I have the sound. It's probably over here on one of your shelves. I have the soundtrack on vinyl for Box Trolls.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, Leica does do good work.
They
They used to be Wilvent Animation Studio, but the documentary was made by Starburns Industries, which is Dino Stampanopoulos' production company.
The guy that did,
he did Moral Oral. He
yes.
was also Starburns from Community, and they also animated. They animated a lot of it too,
it was a good portion of it that was stop motion animated.
and they did the animation for the Community Christmas special, Abed's Christmas special or whatever. That's supposed to look like the Rankin Bass animation.
It's sad that Barry Bruce died like about 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. The other thing is there's a YouTube channel called Secret Galaxy. Their sister channel's Toy Galaxy.
Oh, I know that.
The guy that does it they do some really good in-depth things on pop culture and movies, and specifically toys for Toy Galaxy. But they just recently released, it was very good, a documentary about the history of Rankin Bass. And definitely watch that if you're into animation.
There was, I think it was the same guy did a documentary ish about the surviving puppets from the Rankin Bass. Christmas
Probably,
specials.
yeah. He's a very good. He does.
He
very
did. He
good
went
presenting.
really in depth in that,
Yeah.
and it turns out that the ones that are surviving weren't actually puppets that were used in the show. They were mock-ups that were given as gifts to either have in the lobby of the Rankin Bass offices,
Yeah.
or given as gifts to people that worked on the shows.
Yeah. Well, and then after Rankin Bass dissolved, a lot of the animators from Japan went on to create a new studio called Studio Ghibli.
Well, this
The cell animation.
yeah, the cell
portion of it,
animation,
yeah.
2D animation portion became
Mhm.
Studio Ghibli. I believe the Lupin the Third movie was a Rankin Bass production.
Yep.
That was done by Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah.
And so
For Rankin Bass.
yeah, for
Man,
Rankin
that's
Bass.
crazy to
Yeah,
think
you didn't know
about.
that?
No.
And then also like the Hobbit special.
Yeah,
like,
The Hobbit,
Return of the King,
Return of the King,
Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman.
They were all done by
Now, and
essentially
the reason-
Studio Ghibli. They're all technically Studio Ghibli productions.
The reason they
Wow.
did Return of the King wasn't because Batchke did the Fellowship of the Ring. It was because they had already done The Hobbit, and they just wanted to bookend the story, and so they wanted the interesting parts of the story, which is the end of the
the
book.
very end of the book.
In Return of the King, you could easily like if you, and it wasn't necessarily made for people that didn't know the source material. It was made for people that knew the source material. So you needed to have a certain level of knowledge going
Yeah.
into it anyway.
The animated Hobbit is probably one of the best, probably the best rendition of the Hobbit that's ever been put to film.
It's true.
Mhm.
They're talking about pocket knives. I've got a Gerber in my pocket.
Baby food.
This was my grandfather's knife. I think this was one of the knives that was on him when he died. So yeah, they're talking about fucking Leathermans and shit in the chat.
Why?
I don't know.
I've got like a Damascus steel dagger
Ooh.
that's like out in the living room.
Oh yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
at Christmas.
just like a ornate, like sacrificial, like ritual knife from the looks of it that I bought at the Scottish Highland Games.
Kalima.
Kalima!
Are we out of things to talk about?
I don't know. Any video game news?
Not really.
I mean, Resident Evil 4 comes out again
Yeah.
like early next year.
For like the 17th
Armored
time.
Core
Well, no,
6.
it's a different version of it. It's not the same one that's been re-released since like 2004 on like everything.
I was going to bring up an article and I wanted to talk about Steel Battalion.
Okay.
The one
Oh,
of
that
the,
Xbox game
the-
that has
the most expensive controller, like that functional controller, not just expensive because it was like a one-off or whatever, because it was painted by a specific artist or whatever,
yeah.
but the most expensive controller
Because
I
it's
think in
big.
existence.
Single-use controller too.
Yeah.
It only has
Yeah.
one use.
It's for that fucking game. I actually used one once. I played it
Yeah.
at
Well, it has a
PAX.
bunch of switches because you got to go through a startup sequence. to
Yeah,
set up-
there's like three
it's a-
different
for a mech
segments,
warrior. It's for a mech
It was
warrior.
really
and there's
cool.
like foot pedals to it.
Yeah, it's so there's a panel, and a panel, and then there's like a startup sequence, and then in order to get to your missiles, you got to flip other switches.
The one
then-
thing that I remember hearing about it was You
Look
would
up on
have
eBay,
to
see how much
like
those are.
once your mech gets damaged, like to the point where it's going to explode,
Yeah,
you have to initiate
do
an ejection
eject
sequence,
Yeah,
or the game would delete your save data.
that's awesome.
Oof.
So like if you don't
like,
eject in time, your
You
character's
die in the
dead.
game, you die in real life.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steel Battalion controller, you can get a full one for
Whoa!
cheapest one that used, and all of them are going to be used, is $438.
I
Well,
can
there's-
buy one, but I don't want to.
I think there's one in a. I think there's
It'll
one with.
be worth it if you had like 4 of them and you do multiplayer.
There's one in
Just a
box.
LAN
There's
party.
one in box that's 1600, and I think they're averaging about $400.
We could just build
for
our
one.
own. Just
Hmm.
get a Raspberry Pi.
Oh God, SCE, fuck off. Nate, Jerry, what embarrassing stories do you have on Ike? Hey, John.
I don't know. His girlfriend threw up in her hands once and then ate it. And then she tried to kiss him. I don't know if that was embarrassing for him, but
I mean,
she broke up with him after that weekend.
I got one where I was like asleep in the living room, and like Ike came home drunk and like threw up on himself, and was just muttering, "Oh shit, oh fuck," for like 20 minutes. And then I can't remember if he fell asleep first or if I fell asleep.
There was one day where Trudy goes to, she went to work early. Where Trudy went downstairs to go to work. Then she comes back upstairs and says, Ike's passed out on the top of the stairs. Can you wake him up and get him out of my way? So I go to Ike. You gotta get up. Ike, you gotta get up. This is like 6 o'clock in the morning. I think he got home at 4.
I think I remember that. I was like
Yeah, he was at the top of the stairs going down the stairs.
Oh fuck.
He also had to pay a lot of extra money for when he moved out of the last place because he threw a bunch of shit at the wall.
I was pissed off.
Lucky for him, he paid for all of the drywall fix. I broke some drywall and I didn't pay for it.
Whatever. I finally, 2 weeks ago, finally paid Adam off for that.
I paid him off almost immediately, but I also make a lot more money than you do.
It's easy to make a lot more than 0.
Okay, well, double your salary. Double 0 is still 0.
Yeah, double my salary next week.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Dad hasn't said that to you or something. Good, we're gonna double your salary.
I think Ken said it to me once. Oh man, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get something because you can.
Oh yeah, can you grab
try
another
it.
beer? We'll try these.
Try these on stream. I'm not gonna do it because I
Are
know
they
it's gonna be
filled?
terrible.
Is this filled?
Yeah.
It's like a Lindor.
Also, yeah, if you could grab like
It
2
is
more
a,
beers.
Is it made out of Lindor?
A Guinness chocolate truffle.
No, it's got to be a Lindor. It has to be a
Well,
Lindor.
yeah. Well, other companies make this, but I think this might be every
Can
package.
you grab us 2 more beers? SE says, Ike, you heroic mofo. Thank you, Jerry.
Chocolate liqueur, vegetable fat.
Oh, sweet. It's the best kind.
Those vegetables
I
are
guess.
fat. PHAT.
I'm gonna have some more fries.
This
Up
must have been
bottom and low.
imported. Best before.
Oh, yeah, it's got a
6,
sticker on it.
2023.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to try it.
Oh, it's written in Irish here. That's
That's racist.
It is.
It's just the word potato repeated.
All right, we're going to try this. Let's
It's
see.
dark
Have
chocolate.
you tried it,
I'm
Jerry?
not- he hasn't. He refuses
No,
to.
I don't
why do
like
you
the
have-
taste of beer
Why do you have them?
because it was a novelty. There was only one left on the shelf, and I know
Okay.
people who
I
would
don't-
probably enjoy it.
I don't like dark chocolate. Is it crunchy?
Oh, it's just a
a
chocolate shell.
It's
Oh, okay.
actually not bad.
I don't like dark chocolate. But it
No,
smells
that's
good.
actually not bad. And it doesn't even really taste like beer.
Well, it's a stout.
I can
Stout.
definitely like smell it when I open up the can.
I would
so-
totally eat more of that. That's really good.
Actually, yeah.
But
It doesn't taste like a Guinness.
It's
like a
he says,
Lindor.
Jerry, try the waffle fries with Dijon mustard.
We only have the honey mustard. We didn't get
We're
any
gonna
of
waffle
that.
stomp the waffle fries.
That was another thing that we talked about last night was Dijon mustard. Potato wedges. There's your potatoes.
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 Uh,
Boil
Boil
them,
them,
mash
mash 'em,
them,
stick 'em in a stew.
Potatoes. Well,
That was good.
those were actually pretty good.
Well, you can have more later, I guess.
A Guinness.
Does that enhance the beer? No.
It actually makes the beer taste really bad.
Well, it was bad.
The chocolate was bitter.
It was bad to begin with. Okay, guys.
It's not. I like pub beer.
We are almost out of time here.
We got 11 minutes. What the fuck are you talking
Do
about?
you have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, we're gonna keep this going
I
for
mean-
another 11 minutes. Otherwise, I gotta go upstairs.
I mean,
You have to interact with your wife.
I didn't say that.
we can dunk on Matt Walsh about not knowing anything
God.
about pop culture.
Matt Walsh is so
Tell-
fucking stupid.
Tell us about that. I like Matt Walsh and how he handled the movie What Is a Woman, but yes,
Yeah.
there is a lot of cringe stuff that he does.
So there was a tweet that was it was like looked like it was like an old newscast thing. It was like talking about people who like go out and buy toys of things they're interested in, like superhero things and all
A
that.
mask of Pip Boy.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like it's like people who are still into like superhero stuff when they're like the 20s,
Ape
30s.
shit.
Yeah, like still like old like Nerdrotic mentioned a thing that was like there's like a super high detail Galactus statue
Oh,
that has fully posable fingers. It's like $1,000.
it's full size. It's to scale for Galactus too.
and like there's no kid that's going to be buying that. It's specifically for adult enthusiasts.
There was a thing, just really quick, just to add to this. There was a thing I saw where it was 25% of all toy sales were to adults that were buying them for themselves rather than children.
Yeah.
And I saw that the other day.
But like he takes this video and he put a comment on it saying this like it's time to grow the hell up, guys. And it's like in this whole like culture war thing where like the left runs everything, it's like that's not the attitude you have when you want to take the culture back or at least make it neutral. Because if you're like, oh, it's that's just dumb stuff for kids, we don't need to care about that. That's how we got in this situation in the first place.
Yeah, that's how Gamergate happened because it happened. It started. So this is how the culture war started. It started with atheism. The left prudes, they'll infiltrate something silently, and then they will try to change it to be what they want it to be, which is why gatekeeping. Which is why gatekeeping is a good thing. But this whole thing about Matt Walsh reminds me of one of my favorite C.S. Lewis quotes, and I'm gonna read it here.
Oh, we were talking about this earlier, Jerry.
It's a good quote. Critics who treat adult as a term of approval instead of as merely a descriptive term cannot be adult themselves. To be concerned about being grown up, to admire the grown up because it is grown up, to blush at the suspicion of being childish. These things are the marks of childhood and adolescence. And in childhood and adolescence, they are, in moderation, healthy symptoms. Young things ought to want to grow, but to carry on into middle life or even into early manhood, this concern about being adult is a mark of a really arrested development. When I was 10, I read fairy tales in secret and would have been ashamed if I had been found doing so. Now that I am 50, I read them openly. When I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of being childish and the desire to be very grown up.
Yeah.
Good quote. Good quote.
But that is also a riff on a Bible verse that was about putting away childish things, and that wasn't necessarily an edict, which I think Matt Walsh took to heart because he's very he incorporates religion into a lot of what he
Yeah,
does.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference between Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro.
Mhm.
Ben Shapiro uses the Bible as a jumping off, not the Bible, but biblical
The
things.
Talmud.
Biblical things like his religion as a jumping off point. But then he uses reason and logic to get to those conclusions
Yeah.
instead of using the conclusion as the way to get to it, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like a lot of people,
It's a tool.
a lot of people are like, well, the Bible says this, and we need to believe that.
Well,
But we don't know what. They never tell us why. So what Ben Shapiro does is he's like, okay, logic and reason gets us to this point.
but so the thing is like the Bible and religion is a tool. It's a hammer. You can use it to build things, but you can also use it to hit people.
Yeah.
Which one would you rather do?
It's like that scene from Saved. I'm full of Christ's love, and she throws the Bible in the back of her head.
Yeah.
Prayer works. It's been scientifically proven. Such a good movie. I need to watch that again.
What was it? What's the line from there with Macaulay Culkin? It's like,
Oh no, she's like, what else would a Christian girl be doing at Planned Parenthood? And then Macaulay Culkin goes, she's got a bomb.
no, she didn't say Christian girl, Catholic girl.
Oh
Catholic
yeah,
girl.
no, it wasn't Catholic.
No, I think it was Catholic girl.
They were not Catholic. It was like a Christian
a
school.
Christ, like a Nazarene.
It wasn't
or
Catholic.
something.
Yeah, it wasn't Catholic. It was what else would a Christian girl be doing at Planned Parenthood?
I just think that it's
so good.
absurd to have this idea of being really stodgy and uptight and always trying to be like mature and put together. Like, oh, I don't bother with that. It's all childish stuff. It's like all of the stuff is like made by adults. And
Yeah, exactly.
like you look at like the stories that come out,
Mhm.
movies, animation, all this stuff. Everything is made by
Adults.
grown ass men, and like sure, kids like it, but there's also the lessons that are in these things.
Paw
Yeah.
Patrol has to have been made by an adult.
Yeah, and when like
Bluey.
when
It's a good show.
the lessons are being put in, that's like weirdo stuff. Like, hey, just slide this thing into your butt. Like, no, that's not a lesson for kids.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how the landscape has become,
and then
because people got kicked out.
And they hide it under the auspice of the pretense of acceptance.
You're also
Yeah.
saying
Like, you don't have to accept it.
You're also saying gatekeeping when it comes to people making children's content is good as well.
Yes. But yes, we definitely don't need 1,000 YouTube channels called Queer Kid Stuff.
or making
dumb.
Cartoon Network things about gay people.
Or bullying.
Jerry, can you do me a favor? There's a cup right there, the white cup on the shelf. Can you hand me that?
Yep.
I'm prepping for the end of the show.
I need to wash it out.
Whatever. I'm
Don't
not
pour
using it.
anything
I'm
in
not
it.
using it. I'm just.
Um,
It's a visual aid.
now we're going to talk about the elephant in the room,
Where?
Nuki.
Oh,
Did you watch the video?
I did not.
I did not see it.
Oh, Red Letter Media released a video today titled "We Finally Watched Nuki."
Well, yeah, because they have a fucking shit ton of
They
copies
have,
of it.
Oh, you didn't watch the video, did you?
No, I didn't.
They had an entire shelf full of Nuki, and now it is replaced with a picture of a shelf full of Nuki.
Oh, did they get rid of them?
So they had a
Spoilers.
I'm gonna spoil it now, but you gotta watch it because it's really good. They had a sealed copy of Nuki that they sent off to be appraised
Oh god.
because they're making fun of the whole appraisal like grift or whatever.
Yeah.
So they sent it off to be appraised, and they're like, "We have the single largest collection of Nuki tapes in existence. If we get rid of them, this will be worth a lot more money."
So yeah,
So
they destroy them. If they
bought-
destroy them.
They bought a wood chipper.
Oh,
And they're shoving Nuki tapes into this wood
Oh
chipper.
man.
And so they're
And then
they're making the cost of their one tape more expensive.
and they put it up for auction. Last I checked, it was what was it,
$31,000.
$31,000.
Jesus Christ.
So they put it up for auction. The money that they're getting from the auction, they're going to give to St. Jude and the Wisconsin Humane Society.
Oh, cool.
So it's the thing I want to do is we should crowdfund to buy the tape, and then immediately smash it open and unwrap it and watch it.
Watch it, then toss it in a wood chipper.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
toss it in a wood chipper. Because I think that would be hilarious if we just watched it. And then I
No,
was
no. What we do is everybody
So-
everybody that crowdfunded it, we take the
we'll
tape
live
and we,
stream it.
no, we put it on a big screen in a parking lot.
Yeah, but I found it funny because there's one part in the video where they actually sent a fake tape to these people that
The
were
grifters?
So they actually had a couple tapes to be like examined, and they sent a fake one, and so they shrink wrapped it. I think it would be really funny.
Cat wants in.
Yeah, I know. I hear that. I think it'd be really funny if they shrink wrapped a fake tape in that Nuki, and then that Nuki tape that you have in there is actually just Rich Evans laughing for 90 minutes.
Oh, here. So Sunflower says this. My mom once saw me as an adult watch cartoons. She said I was too old for this. To this day, I still watch the Jetsons and Flintstones.
Jetsons is great.
Yeah.
Like the Jetsons movie was really good.
I like the theory that Jetsons and Flintstones happen at the same time. It's just the Flintstones are on the ground,
Oh,
and the Jetsons are living
wasn't
up.
it?
on
Wasn't it
these
this
pillars.
last summer in July or something like that? It was.
Uh-oh.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
It was George Jetson's birthday. Like the day of his birth was this year in July or
really?
something like that. Like
Wow.
it was the date that George Jetson would have been born was this year.
It was like July
So
12th,
George
2022.
Jetson is 6 months old at this point. Right now.
George Jetson is in the world as we speak.
Yes.
Aren't we a couple years out from Adam Jensen from the Deus Ex, like Mankind
Probably.
Divided and stuff like that?
I think so.
We're only like, I want to say
Dress
about
for this.
25 or 30 years away from Captain Kirk's birth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if we're still around, then we should celebrate that.
Oh yeah, I'll be okay with that.
When's
we
that
should
dude
do.
gonna create the warp drive?
Right?
Oh yeah, that was Zephram Cochrane.
That
Yeah.
actually happened.
That already happened. That happened in like the 90s, didn't it?
Here, let's see.
Hold on.
We're gonna Google this.
Cochrane,
Star Trek.
Warp Drive. Zephram Cochrane from
The 2063.
Oh, this is gonna be a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't try to be a great man, just be a man and let history make its own judgments. Zephram Cochrane, 2063.
He was a drunk.
He also was played
Yeah.
by the
farmer.
from Babe in the movie. What was it? Star Trek. Which Star Trek movie was that?
That was First Contact.
Oh yeah, because the
Isn't that dude like a crazy activist?
What, the
He's
actor?
Yeah.
James Cromwell. Is
he's
the actor.
he's a vegan.
I know that he's done like crazy activism stuff. I was like, wait, that's like the doctor from iRobot. And it's like, yeah, he got like arrested doing like weird, crazy, like animal rights stuff.
Of
course.
Captain Kirk's birthday. I thought it was earlier than that, but it's 2233 is Kirk's birthday. I thought it was sooner than that.
We'll have no overlap unless we merge with the machines.
Yeah. We'll have our brains copied and then put into
Okay, we are
avatars.
out of time here, kids. I would like to thank everybody for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
No.
Share this shit with your friends. Go over to seriouslycast.com to the main channel. Make sure to like and subscribe there as well. Because during the week, I do some video game streams. And like Bob was talking about earlier, you missed out on a really good one last night. And it was hilarious.
Screw Tape Games on YouTube.
Yep,
Follow that.
It's
And
Nate's
don't
as well.
Unfollow this channel and go follow Screw Tape
And
Games.
so because Scotty's not here, we make sure to
Twirl
twirl
your
your Tweety. It's too bright or whatever. It doesn't matter. So
all of you guys are going to need to tell him to play more horror games because that's
God,
His girly
like,
scream
yeah,
is
it's
really funny.
very amusing. I got him to play Resident Evil 8 once.
I
and
bought,
he
I
didn't
bought
even-
I bought it like the full price copy of it, and I played through like the first chapter, and I haven't touched it since.
Dude, you didn't even get to like the enemies attacking you. You got like the first dude that's like the tutorial fight.
Yep.
And then I told you to look at the rooftops and you saw dudes slowly like walking around and like trying to hide. and you like look dead at the camera. You're like, I'm not playing this. And then you stop.
Well, then there was that at dead of night. You remember that one?
Oh
The one
yeah.
about the hotel. He was playing that, and I convinced Adam, his
Oh,
roommate at the
jeez.
time, to go down and ask him a question. He just opens the door.
Oh,
Scared the
God.
shit out of him. It was great.
It's like that time when Andy was playing.
Oh yeah, you
playing,
drove over to his house and
No,
pounded on his
what
window.
game was that? That was
It was Outlast
Outlast
2.
2.
Oh man. Yeah,
And
that
he was
would
like
do
in the bathroom or
He
something.
was,
so
he was in a school.
he was live streaming. I drove over to his house and was just like just pounded on his
Scared the
window.
Shit out of him. It was great.
it. Oh man.
Now I feel bad because I think at the time, because he has MS, he had to wear adult diapers, and I think he may have pissed himself.
No.
Spoilers.
Okay, if we say anything that is factually inaccurate, we like to be as accurate as possible on this show. When I say factually inaccurate,
Hang
an
on.
opinion doesn't count as accuracy.
Hang on. If we say anything factually inaccurate, go edit Wikipedia and make us right.
Okay, Stephen Colbert. Okay, well, it's been fun. We'll see you guys next year. Happy New Year. Joyous Kwanzaa.
It's his birthday next
I
week.
mean, we had
Oh, yeah.
chicken, so yeah, we did
I don't-
celebrate Kwanzaa.
I don't know.
Well, it's still Kwanzaa.
It is.
Kwanzaa
Hey,
until Sunday.
hey, Rad. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry, we're
Kwanzaa until
ending right
Sunday.
now. Yeah, Kwanzaa goes on until I think tomorrow is the last day of Kwanzaa, actually.
No,
You know,
it goes
I-
until Sunday because it starts on Monday and
you're
goes
right.
7
You're right.
days.
It goes until the New Year.
I don't think it's the best policy to like wave at people by doing this. That's not that's not the best
What
thing
was
to
it?
do.
What was it from?
We're all
Jerry
judging
Jerry Seinfeld came up with a joke. He's like, so the high five was a Nazi invention. It was the Heil five. That picture is going to be used out of context. I know it.
I still like To Be or Not to Be. It's a who did that one? That was
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. It was a good Mel Brooks movie, but he plays Hitler at one point in the movie. He walks into a room and goes, "Heil myself." What are we hiding here? Jews or rabbits? Because every time he goes down to the basement, there's like 10 more Jews hiding in the basement of the theater.
That's a good. That's a
And then,
good.
and then they're
That's a good
because the
movie.
theater is world famous in Poland.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I love Mel Brooks.
We're gonna get out of here before we get in trouble.
Watch
Too
Mel Brooks
late.
movies.
Before we get Kanye.
Hey, there was a TV series based on Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah, they did like an entire.
They made 2 seasons of it. Never
Yeah.
released an episode. You can there's 2
No,
episodes available.
I think the only reason that they did that is so they could keep the copyright.
No, they did that so they could fulfill the contract, so they could
Ah.
make a sequel.
Oh,
Oh.
okay,
so
guys.
they made an entire TV series just so they could.
If I don't end this, we're just gonna keep going. I have to pee really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
let's
see.
Stop it.
Okay, we'll see you guys next week on the podcast. Maybe I'll see you guys either tomorrow or later, or whatever. Not tomorrow. I don't know. It might be past my birthday, so maybe on the 4th or 5th, I'm gonna do another stream. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I gotta push the button twice.